Hello, welcome to today's video. I'm Sarah, this is No BS Beauty. So, for today, I just wanted to mention something really quick. I've got overrated products, but every day I get asked about Ozempic. Did you do Ozempic? Are you using Ozempic? I've never touched the stuff. I swear on my dog's life, and if I wouldn't lie about it anyway. I don't know. If people use it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I've been working on losing weight for 2 years, but also, my thyroid's a little messed up, and actually right before I left on our trip to Europe, I ended up in the hospital just for a little bit because my thyroid's just really messed up. So anyway, I'm not trying to lose any more weight at all. I'd like to at least stay where I'm at, if not gain more, so I definitely don't want to lose any more weight. But if anybody's using it out there, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't matter to me. I just go for it. If it works for you, do it. But anyway, so I just get asked about it every day, so it's like I don't want to have to respond every day to something. So anyway, and I know I'm probably a little too skinny at this point, so anyway, so there we go about that. Okay, so on to today's video. So today I just thought I'd talk about what's overrated. There's so many products that get a lot of hype, and these are some, in my humble opinion, that get too much hype. I talked about underhyped products last week, so today overhyped products. And I want to also say, this doesn't necessarily mean that any of these are bad products in each of its own way. They're good products for most people. People enjoy them. So I'm not saying these products are bad. I've owned them. Many of these I've repurchased, but some of these at this point I think are just getting a little too much hype for what they are. So first of all, and I think I got this in a beauty box, the Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamin Superfood Cleanser. This is a decent cleanser, but honestly, for me, I actually found a little stripping and drying on my skin. Other people absolutely love it. Youth to the People was a smaller brand when they first started out, but now they've been purchased by one of the big brands. So, I mean, there's no real, otherwise I'd say, hey, if it works for you, go for it. It's a small indie brand, help them out. But now they've been purchased by one of the big companies. I think it's better off finding a smaller brand and supporting them. But again, there's nothing wrong with this cleanser. I've used it. It's just not my favorite, and it certainly has gotten a lot of hype. Okay, next up, I've got the Sunday Riley Luna Oil. This is another one that has gotten a lot of hype, although the hype has died down. Not exactly sure what's going on with the Sunday Riley brand. Man, they used to be releasing some products a few times a year, but I can't think of the last product they released. Was it? I can't remember. I think they released something last year. I can't think if they've released anything this year. So anyway, but a lot of people hype this up. The retinol in here is very weak. It's more of a hydrating oil than anything. So if you're looking for retinol, this is probably not the product, but I think people might like it because of the smell or the look of it. I don't know. I mean, it is pretty, but anyway, so if you're looking for a retinoid product, there's a ton of them. Oops, I just spilled all over. A ton of them that actually have real retinol in them and don't cost nearly as much as this one does. So in my opinion, it's overhyped, or has been overhyped. Okay, next up, this one's super expensive, and I found a lot of nice alternatives to it. I think I did a video on it. I'll have to link to it below. The Drunk Elephant TLC Framboos Glycolic Serum, unless you get this on a deal, or it works better for you than anything else. It's okay. It's just there's so many other nice exfoliants that are similar that don't cost upwards of $100 or more. I think they got this one maybe in a set. And yeah, and I think they've changed the percentages of actives in it, but I mean, it's got a nice gel texture. The pH is proper. It's fragrance free, things like that. But there's a lot of other good alternatives to it, so I'll try and remember a link to that video below. It's fine if you like it, go for it. And if your budget approves it, go for it. But it's just so expensive. And I don't know, Geek and Gorgeous's liquid exfoliators I'm really loving, so those might be worth checking out. There's not a lot of nice brands with some nice exfoliants out there these days. Okay, this is another brand that gets a lot of hype, the Lanolips Lip Balms. So I finally got a chance to try one. This, I think, was in a beauty box this month. And compared to my Holy Grail, it just doesn't compete at all. It's probably less expensive. I just found it to be not as hydrating as I was hoping versus some other ones I've tried. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just didn't get that hydrating. Like after I applied it, it felt like I needed to reapply it too soon versus some other ones that I can apply. Even the Tatcha lip balm, I can apply, and then I don't need to reapply till like sometimes the next morning or several hours later. So I found this one to be overrated, but if it works for you, go for it. Okay, next up, Paula's Choice C15 Booster, which is 20 milliliters or 0.67 ounces, and it's expensive. And if you actually put this in a 1 ounce bottle, the price would probably start to get closer and closer to SkinCeuticals price. And you know what, when she created this, or this brand created this serum, there probably weren't a ton of dupes for SkinCeuticals, but nowadays there's dozens and dozens of dupes to it, so this is still too expensive for what it is. There's a lot of good alternatives that you don't need to spend that much money for something. And I don't like the term booster. When I see the term booster, I usually think the price is going to be too much and I'm getting screwed. And it usually means it's a little bottle, and generally that's what it is. But if it works for you, go for it. But there's other ones that are better. Okay, next up, this one got a lot of reviews when it came out, and I reviewed it, and the ingredients are good, but it just left me wanting, and that's the Ole Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Moisturizer. It's very nice. It's got great peptides in there, but the fragrance in here leaves something to be desired. And ever since I found, you know, there's some great peptide products out there. Neogen High R Exosome Cream is wonderful, and I think it's like 15 bucks, and it's got great ingredients and no scent. So, yeah, so this one's overrated, but it's got good ingredients. But for the price, the packaging, the scent, it's a bit much. It's over the top, in my opinion. Okay, they call this, maybe it's just the brand's marketing, they call this one of the most popular cleansers, period. I think it might just be the brand. Tula Cult Classic Cleanser. This stuff is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad cleanser, but I will say there are some estheticians that are questioning Tula in skincare as a line in general, saying they've started to notice clients having issues, and it tends to correlate with using Tula. So, I mean, it may not mean anything. There may be a spurious correlation, or maybe people that skin is already irritated are looking at this company. I don't know, but I thought I'd mention it because it's interesting. But anyway, this stuff is okay, but it's for cleanser, just it's not worth investing too much. What's the main ingredients in here? I don't know. Nothing too exciting, nothing too upsetting either. So it's mild and gentle, but it's not a must-have. Okay, next up, the Major Fade Hyper Serum from Dr. Idriss. I finally had a chance to try this, and I thought it was expensive, and I initially thought there'd be more of a refill with it, but it's, for what it is, it's really expensive. So here's the bottle, and then you get one refill, and then them added up together, I think don't even equal a full ounce. So there's lots of great brightening products out there that you don't need to spend a ridiculous amount. This isn't a bad product by any means, but if you're looking for something brightening, this one's, it's just so expensive. I just wouldn't recommend it to the average person, because there's some other great ones that are brightening. Let me see if I have it handy, without being overly expensive. And I'm thinking of here it is. This one in particular, the Transparent Lab Sunspot Brightening Treatment. This one's much more affordable, and I think it's more ounces too. It's 1 ounce, so it's more. Okay, next up, this one is another one that gets talked about all the time. Not as much as it used to, but the CeraVe PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. This one is a basic moisturizer, although I do notice people with extremely sensitive or easily irritated skin, I've been noticing people can have some issues with this brand in general. I'm not exactly sure if it's the preservatives or the base of it. Capri triglyceride, I don't know, or something else. It's just so simple and basic, which makes it great for a lot of people. But if you're looking for something a little more exciting or anti-aging, then there's other stuff that's better. But just for a simple basic moisturizer, if you don't have any skin concerns like acne or hyperpigmentation or wrinkles or anything like that, then it's fine. Okay, last but not least, the Isntree Biifda Real Ampoule, and there's nothing wrong with this product again. It's usually mentioned as a great dupe for the Lancome Genifique, and it is, and it's better than the Genifique, but it still has anise fruit, which is can be a fragrance ingredient. There's really no scent to this, but besides that, I found it to be greasy, and it took a long time to soak in and absorb into my skin, so I just didn't love it because of that. But if it works for you, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I just didn't love it. But I typically love Isntree in most of their products, but this was one that I still just don't love. And I think they changed the packaging even, and yeah. Anyway, just don't love it, but nothing wrong with it. So anyway, curious in hearing from you guys what you think are some of today's most overrated skincare products or beauty products. Leave them below, and I will see you guys more tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.